here in 15 minutes. We've got a big NFL weekend to get to. I also want to talk a little bit about the Major League Baseball salary cap and floor. We'll do that way towards the end of the show, probably, and take it or leave it. But today is going to be heavy on LSU football, with Little Saints sprinkled in. Some really good news for New Orleans, as they will have significant representation at the Senior Bowl, and that's been beneficial to New Orleans over the years over in Mobile, so we'll get to some of that. So lots to do. Let's log it in with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive, presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
LSU is up to 35 transfer portal additions. You heard that correct, 35. It would flatline stun me if I got off the air at 3 o'clock. Well, more technically, 2:56 this afternoon, and there weren't one or two more added in. But right now, they're at 35. Since I last left you at 2:56 yesterday, LSU has added 5 players to the class. It started with Zach Grace, the Baylor tight end. Oregon tight end. Then you had Jamar Jones from the offensive line that LSU added from Nichols. Sean Tompkins from Baylor on the offensive line. Devin Harper from Ole Miss on the offensive line. And Fahim Delane, Mansour's younger brother, who is a safety at Ohio State that is now transferring to LSU. So a tight end, 3 offensive linemen, and a safety. I'm going to talk about all of them, but I don't want to just hit one. Let's compartmentalize here a little bit. And let's go straight to the offensive line, okay? Because y'all, if you've been listening to me, you understand how I feel about the way this has been handled in the portal. I'm ecstatic about what they did at quarterback. I think it was brilliant. I wrote a column about it at LouisianaSports.net this morning. I think it's been incredible. I think they stockpiled wide receiver very, very well. I think that they will have significant depth and real talent there at wide receiver. Tight end looks loaded, obviously. Defensive line, you got a lot of options. I think there's some potential star power. You haven't added anybody that is a star on the defensive line, but I think you've got some options on defensive line. I think at linebacker you look very good. I like where LSU is at corner. You just added a safety in Fahim Delane with Deshaun Spears and Tamarcus Cooley, and then you go get Benefield from Boise State. Now, I think LSU's good at safety. I've just gone through the entire roster except offensive line. I told you and have told you for 2 weeks I'm uncomfortable with the offensive line. I'm getting there. I'm getting there in terms of trusting where they're going. I never said they were doomed. I never said they have no chance. I never said this is a failure. I just, as the days were ticking off and the numbers were swelling around the roster and the talent was coming in, it just wasn't an offensive line. I'm just looking at it going, that's still a sore spot. Like, I'm not ready to just jump in full steam ahead, optimism train, compete for the playoff, compete for the SEC, compete for a championship. You got to address this offensive line. That's where I've been for 2 weeks. They're making progress. They go get Jamar Jones, who is not going to steal any headlines. He's a Brummel product. He went to Nichols, played a little bit for the Colonels this year. This is a depth piece. He's very young, has only played 1 year of FCS football, but he is 6'4". He's 300 pounds. He scored 1,000 points on the basketball court for Rummel. So a guy that has upside down the road. But for 2026, am I betting on a guy that didn't really even start for Nichols? Probably not. But you keep going. And you go get Sean Tompkins, who I talked about yesterday on the show. Now, Sean Tompkins is not an All-American right now, but what Sean Tompkins is a guy with starting Big 12 tackle experience. He started 5 games at tackle for Baylor this year. He played in 10. His pass blocking grades were strong on PFF. He's got good size and real experience. As I've said for 2 weeks, it's a bit of a broken record, but I feel like I need to kind of reestablish things as we continue this conversation. I trust Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock. I trust Coach Wolford. I trust Coach Craig on the offensive line with their evaluations, but it's typical for me to analyze this from afar and feel great about going to junior college and the FCS and the MEAC to add offensive linemen and go, okay, they'll figure that out. Like, that's a big ask. I want Power 5 guys and add the depth behind them with maybe some diamonds in the rough. And while I don't expect Sean Tompkins to come in and play like Will Campbell, at least I know he's lined up against Power 5 players at practice and on the field for 3 years. That's what LSU really needed to grab. And they did it, and he comes in with the ability to potentially help you at tackle. I love that ad for sure. So you look at that as a positive. And then you got even bigger news right after that when you got Devin Harper from Ole Miss. Now, LSU fans are familiar with Devin Harper. Shreveport boy, Calvary, committed to LSU, flips to Ole Miss. He didn't play much this year, but you heard Charlie Weiss Jr. say when he was at Ole Miss, not when they got him to come to LSU, when he was at Ole Miss, this is perhaps the most talented freshman offensive lineman we've had since we've been here at Ole Miss. And you look at his measurables, you look at his recruiting rankings, which were very good, and then I hear Ole Miss folks talking about him on the beat, suggesting he's probably, and I heard left tackle and right tackle from two different Ole Miss podcasts that I listened to, but the inclination in Oxford, as of 2 weeks ago, Devin Harper starting at one of our tackles. And they're excited about that. And now he's coming to LSU. That's huge. Absolutely huge. This is a guy that multiple staffs have targeted in the SEC. LSU's under Brian Kelly with Brad Davis, Lane Kiffin's staff at Ole Miss, and now you get him in Baton Rouge. And so you look at adding Tompkins and Harper, and now I can look at LSU's tackle situation and go, okay, Weston Davis is back. You bring in Devin Harper. You bring in Sean Tompkins. That's the top of this depth chart currently. You also have Solomon Thomas. I think there's a chance he plays guard. I think there's a chance he plays tackle. We haven't seen enough of him because he missed all of camp, and then we weren't really let in after that. So, I can see it either way, but certainly a talented guy who adds depth to that spot. And then you bring in Darren Stray at 6'7", 305, was a former four-star recruit from Kentucky who projects as a tackle. All of a sudden now, I'm looking at five guys with SEC pedigree, with Big 12 pedigree, to fill out the tackle spot and find two. I've got five guys, I need two. Okay, we're moving in the right direction. Then you look at guard. You've got the Bordelon brothers. You bring in Satterwhite from Tennessee, who's been a center, but I would imagine if you can play center, there's a chance you can go over and play guard. You at least bring, and then you have Sprinkle and Jones from the lower levels that you feel like from FCS and JUCO that you can bring in that may give you a little bit of depth. And then you got Braylon Moore in the center. So I feel great about center. I feel much better about tackle. And you've got 5 or 6 options at guard right now that you're working towards two players. You're getting there. My assessment of LSU's offensive line right now is that it's a question mark. 5 days ago, I would have called it a grave concern. Now I would call it a question mark. If you can make a couple of things happen over the next week or so, keep in mind, the portal entrant, as I said at the front, closes at midnight tonight, but that doesn't, if you're in the portal, you can still go somewhere. It just means you can't go in anymore. So you've gone from grave concern for me to question mark, and I think that's fair. You can go to strength if you make a couple things happen. Because you can move Devin Harper to guard. Maybe Solomon Thomas becomes the star that we thought he would be when he was a 5-star recruit. Maybe a couple of these players who didn't start on their teams last year, like Satterwhite, like Stray, really blossom. Maybe you found a diamond in the rough in Sprinkle or Jones from the MEAC or JUCO. But you're building towards options. I'm not here to tell you Bryson Martinez is going to jump in there and play. It's certainly possible, but he's a true freshman. Same thing goes for Brian Moret, who came from as an Ole Miss commitment over to LSU. I don't like to count on true freshmen in the transfer portal, but I'm feeling better about it. I think, as I mentioned, I think you've done so well at quarterback. I think running back is deep and strong. I love what you've done at wide receiver. I think the defense has a lot of continuity, and under Blake Baker, you've got some difference makers on that side of the ball, and you may have more coming, which is something we need to be on the lookout for here in the next 24 hours. But the offensive line, we saw it this year. When that falters, it's just very difficult to overcome. And I keep pointing to Miami's defensive line and what they're doing to teams. And if you can't hold at the point of attack, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to score points offensively. And I'm not here to tell you this is Will Campbell and Emory Jones and you've got a potential pair of All-Americans on your offensive line, but you're easing my tension for sure. This has been a pretty remarkable go for Lane Kiffin, Billy Glasscock, and his operation over there. I don't know how they do this. I don't know how in 2 weeks you can trot 60 guys through there and sign 35 players. I mean, I'm probably undershooting on the visits, quite frankly. But when they get guys in that building and they put their plan forward and they show that financial package that they're able to put together and they show where the depth chart looks like, they're adding up guys everywhere you can find them. Offense, defense, specialists, everything. Now, they had a lot of room to add, but quarterback had to be taken care of, and offensive line was second on this list, and it took a long time. Like, you added 3 offensive linemen today. Before today, you were way short, but it's starting to happen. And I think you're seeing right now how he got this operation cooking in Oxford, and he's replicating it plus some in Baton Rouge, and at times at Ole Miss's expense, which is what happens here with Devin Harper. It's what happens with Winnie Watkins, and they're probably not done adding Ole Miss Rebels at this point. We know that TJ Dottery has visited. Prince Wilumanielen went in the transfer portal. They're cooking right now at LSU, but offensive line had to be taken care of, and you added 2 Power 4 offensive linemen. That's a big, big day for LSU at a position you absolutely had to have it. So that's our opening drive. We're brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp on these Fridays. We get to Preston Guy, see what he thinks about it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing. LifetimeRoofingLA.com is that website. If you're looking for a job and you're interested in working for one of the only legitimate W-2 working companies in terms of the roofing market in the entire state, how about Lifetime Roofing? They offer benefits. They offer a 401k. That's fairly rare in the roofing game, and Lifetime Roofing is happy to help you with that if you're looking for a job, looking for a career. It's a growing company. It's a local company. It's a company that cares. I spent some time with the people over at Lifetime Roofing a couple of weeks ago. One, their facility is just phenomenal right there off College Drive. Put it up a couple of years ago, and their team is just fantastic. It's people from this community that care about this community, that understand in the business that they're in. Oftentimes, you're dealing with people who are undergoing a significantly difficult time. You've got a bad storm that's come through and you need a new roof and there may be damages. They understand that. That's why they got into this line of work, to help people. They also do multiple roof giveaways every single year, done military giveaways each of the last 2 years. It's a great place to work, a great team to join. So if you're looking for an opportunity to get a 401k, to get benefits, and to get to work for a great team, contact the folks at Lifetime Roofing. Go see them just off College Drive or check them out online, lifetimeroofingla.com. It's Lifetime Roofing, lifetimeroofingla.com.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
How about a po' boy for lunch? Not too late. Just 1:15. Swing on by Corks between Foster and Jefferson on Government. I'll make you a jumbo shrimp po' boy, catfish po' boy, fully dressed, crispy shoestring fries. How about it? Awesome po' boy over there at Corks on Government. All right, let's talk some LSU football. Preston Guy, TigerBait.com with us on Fridays. Preston, what do you want to talk about?
It's a slow day, man. I really thought you were just going to give me the day off. There's, not much to talk about. What's going on with the baseball team?
I mean, I could do that for an hour, but I'll get fired, so I won't do that. We'll stick to football. I mean, I'm trying to prepare for a show. I was actually looking at some of the NFL matchups for the weekend, trying to get jazzed for that, and they got a commitment every 15 minutes that had to go up on the site, so I can't prepare for the NFL this weekend. I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently. But they're certainly working fast and furious. Where do you want to start on that? What's caught your eye over the last 24 hours?
Well, I guess the old adage, I kind of walked into this portal period. They had no commitments over the first weekend. Monday during the day, everybody's like, man, what's going on? And my thought was on that guy. He's got $30 million to work with, a good gumbo, take some time to simmer, and it's time to chop up the okra and add the rice because the gumbo is coming together very nicely today as LSU has the number 1 portal class according to the 247 rankings. It actually has a commanding margin on it. I mean, today you get Devin Harper, who is a massive, massive spot of need for LSU. Of course, he was highly recruited, redshirted last year. He's basically exactly what Solomon Thomas is for LSU. Very talented, highly recruited, redshirted last year, not much experience, right? Then you add in Sean Tompkins, who further addresses that. He started 6 games for Baylor. Now, none of these guys are grand slams going to be all-conference offensive tackles for LSU, right? Nothing is a stud deal there. But at least it's not like, you're adding, guys from Nichols and hoping he's your starting tackle. No, the Nichols guy is going to be a depth piece for you. And then, of course, LSU brings in a top 100 commitment, Fahim Delane, who is brother of Mansour Delane. And the craziest part is they're sitting at, I believe this is 35 total commitments, the largest portal commitment class in school history. Before that was last year with 18. So they basically doubled their school record for portal commits. I don't even think they're done. And I don't have much clarity on if they're going to 105 scholarships or not. I believe this, by my count, and I've got a roster tracker I cannot finish because every 15 minutes there's a new commitment. But I believe they're at 84 scholarship players as it stands. So if they're going to add more pieces, my assumption is they are rolling with the 105 scholarship limit next year.
At tackle, this is my list. I'm going to give it to you and see how you feel about it and if I'm missing anybody. But I've got Weston Davis, obviously. I've got Devin Harper from today. I've got Sean Tompkins from today. I've got Solomon Thomas, who I know could play guard. I'm putting him in the group of could play tackle, whatever. Yeah. And then I've got Darren Stray from Kentucky, who's 6'7", 305. Looks like a tackle to me. That is a total of 5 guys. How do you feel about that group right now?
Yeah, Promise in that group. And by the way, I'll throw Harper in there as well. Harper was recruited as an interior offensive lineman.
Sure.
A lot of could be great. Not one will be great. Does that make sense to you? I think there's a lot of reason you can believe a lot of these guys will perform well. Hopefully with a new system, new coach, all that. You're in a better spot. But, it's not like you're bringing in, who's the kid from Colorado, Jordan Seaton, right? Now, if he comes, that's all right, well, you've got an all-conference left tackle day one, right? So there's just tiers to how good you feel. I think there's 4 of those guys at least could convince me, okay, next year you'll be in a good spot because this guy's okay. But are they going out there and dominating the best defensive ends in the country? I don't know. I still think the offensive line is in an acceptable spot currently. I think they need let's put it like this. If they add 2 bona fide all-SEC caliber starting linemen, I think they're officially in a good spot on offensive line and every other spot on the roster as well.
That was obviously the follow-up. Like, is there another spot that you're a little bit concerned about on the roster at this point, or is it just all your focus on the offensive line?
At this point, you're not looking at any glaring holes on your roster at all. Okay, you're looking at you can use a little fortification here. Linebacker, which started as like the strongest position group going into the portal period because you're bringing back 7 players at linebacker, and all 7 have shown promise, by the way. I mean, even guys like Keelan Moses, right, as a true freshman, look really sharp out there. There's a lot of reason to like him. You're bringing back the best linebacker in the country, Whit Week, and that you just didn't bring in a single portal commitment or high school player. It's just the 7 returning guys. C.J. Ross is a guy you like a lot. So, yes, Davin Keys, who started when West Weeks was out. But that is a spot where I would keep an eye out. Of course, Ole Miss has the linebacker there with 174 tackles. What's his name? T.J. Dottinger.
T.J. Daughtery?
Daughtery. Sorry about dude. There's so many.
Oh, you can't keep up with the names. I tell when I do a hit on the radio, I tell the host beforehand, like, you're gonna have to help me with names. There are so many visitors and so many commitments. I know who they are if you give me a hint, but like I can't just rattle them off. It just can't be done.
Well, and I'm on the phone here, and I don't have my list in front of me, actually. I just kind of go off the top of my head here. But anyways, that would be a massive pickup to address that. You're talking about a senior player with almost 200 tackles. He was a core part of the Ole Miss defense last year. That would be massive to addressing that. So, yeah, I mean, there's a couple spots like that. I was thinking maybe safety, but then they bring in Fahim Delane, and it's like, well, they might be good at safety too. So corner, I could see wanting to add an experienced nickel back there. But you're at the point where you're like, let's go get the best available player. Let's improve, and we'll see where we go from there.
Do you think either Tamarcus Cooley or the safety from Boise State, Benefield, or Delane could kick down and play in the nickel or that star role? Obviously, I'm leaving Deshaun Spears in the back end in that scenario, but you've now got enough players there that it feels like if you needed to move somebody down, you probably could.
I think Benefield screams star to me. Now, I have not interviewed Blake Baker and said, hey, what do you want to use him at? I'm just watching the tape. I'm like, yeah, that looks like a star linebacker, star DB, star hybrid, whatever you call it, if I've ever seen one, right? I don't know if he's a nickelback, because nickelback you have to do a lot of man inside coverage, and I just don't think he's that type of player. So I don't know if I have too many candidates for that nickel role, but there's a lot of guys I'm looking at. Like, yeah, and Fahim Delane, he only had 7 tackles for Ohio State last year. He is a big physical safety. I don't know how tight he is in man coverage. I haven't graded his film out or anything like that, but he's a guy I could see playing that star spot as well.
And a little trivia here, because I learned this as I was doing some research. Do you know who led the SEC in tackles this year?
Led the SEC in tackles.
It was T.J. Daughtery at Ole Miss.
I was going to say he had 98 this year. That's going to put him close, right?
Do you know who was second?
Yeah. Oh God, is it Whit Weeks? No,
it's Devon Keys was second in the SEC in tackles.
So you have the first and second leading tacklers in the SEC returning.
And last year, Whit Weeks was second in the SEC in tackles. So if Daughtery were to, he's at Baton Rouge. If he ends up at LSU, that's 3 guys you've got in your locker room that have been in the top 2 in the SEC in tackles over the last 2 years. and with all the depth you just talked about with Blake Baker has, like that's been I think a position of remarkable retention for LSU to not have a single linebacker go into the portal.
Yeah, and it just shows the job that Blake Baker's doing. I mean, these guys love Blake Baker. They're bought in. I think the job he did retaining basically every key defensive piece on the team was incredible work. And you match that with, going to the portal and doing what they've done and not being afraid to shy around from top talented players that fit what they do. I don't want to do the same song and dance, but it's hard not to be excited about this roster coming into this season.
We'll flip to the offensive side briefly here while I still have you. I know how you felt about Frank Wilson's running back rotations. Now you look at a deep running back room that has Harlan Berry, and you bring Caden Durham in, plus a transfer, high profile in some ways from Wisconsin. How do you feel about the running back spot right now?
Yeah, I think they've been very strategic with a lot of the guys they've brought back, and I think it's starting to come to fruition that a lot of these guys in the portal were guys they wanted to enter the portal to make room for the guys they're bringing in, right? Because they're keeping guys like Caden Durham and Harlan Berry. I mean, we're talking about two veteran backs, guys that they're healthy, have both shown elite. Both guys who've shown that if they're fully healthy and your offensive line is churning, you could see why they would probably be an all-SEC back, right? And then you had three quality depth pieces in a system that doesn't rely on running back depth. Lane Kiffin's system uses a ton of wide receivers. You're going to see 6 or 7 guys in double-digit receptions this year. But if you look at Kevin Smith's running back rotation, he finds his best running back, and he keeps him on the field until there's a reason to take him off. I mean, T1 Lacey was an absolute bell cow for Ole Miss this year, and Logan Diggs is their number 2, had 25 carries. Now, I do think Caden Durham is going to take more than 25 carries, but I think those two guys are going to get 90+% of the carries, and then the other guys, especially the kid out of Wisconsin, Dylan Jones, I believe his name is.
Correct.
We're talking about names. Yeah, look at me, nailed it. I was like, James or Jones? Jones, got it. He's a physical back, right? He didn't have a ton of high yards per carry. He was in the 3 yards per carry, but he is a big, tough, physical, gritty runner. So I'm literally just looking at his film and saying he may be used situationally in goal line because I don't think neither Durham or Harlan Berry are great goal line choices. So, yeah, running back, they look pretty good in my opinion.
It's a lot to get to. We'll try to knock it all out. You can find it over at tigerbait.com. Appreciate Preston for showing up here on Fridays. Thanks, man.
All right, Hunt. See you soon.
Preston Guy with Tiger Bait. Usually at 1:30 on Fridays, we talk a little bit of NFL. There's too much LSU to talk to, so we're going to stick with the Tigers when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust. If you're looking for a commercial loan, First American Bank and Trust. Looking for a residential loan, First American Bank and Trust. Why? Well, because First American Bank and Trust was started here in Southeast Louisiana 116 years ago. 116 years ago. Still here and growing. 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. So no matter where you are in our part of the state, you can find a First American Bank and Trust. And every decision that they make is made locally. So when you're applying for that commercial loan, you're looking for that residential loan to purchase that house you're looking for, you know that you're not dealing with some call center in Seattle or not dealing with decision makers up in New York. You're dealing with people inside your community. That's the feel that they want to provide and that they do provide at First American Bank and Trust. And if you think, well, that sounds kind of like mom and pop shop, like, can you really help me with the needs that I have as a business that needs a loan? Absolutely. That's what you get with 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. So walk into one today. Meet somebody behind the counter that you go to church with, that you play golf with, that your kids go to the same school. That's what you get, my friends, at First American Bank and Trust.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Shout out to folks at Swing Easy Golf Club, swingeasygcbr.com is where you can find them online. If you want to walk in, you can do that. Segan at Perkins. It's the weekend, time to play some golf. If you don't have a tee time or fearful of the weather, which is going to be chilly this weekend, take that out of the equation. Go to Swing Easy Golf Club, tee it up with your friends. You can play Bethpage Black where they play the Ryder Cup. You can play Pebble Beach where they play the U.S. Open. Cypress Point, you can play that as well. TPC Sawgrass where I teed it up at Swing Easy Golf Club last Saturday. Just going in there with your buddies. Got some cold beers. We got a bucket delivered to our room. Bucket on ice, full of cold beers. You can do that. They got individual music for each private bay. It's a great place to hang out, play some golf. And the best thing is, like, some people think that 18 holes, 5 hours, slow play, just a drag sometimes to go play. This is at your own pace. You can play 18 holes in an hour and 45 minutes if you're clipping along. And you're out of the elements. It's just a ton of fun. A great place to hang out. Great place to spend some time on the weekend. Put that work week in the rearview mirror. Go hang out with my friends at Swing Easy Golf Club on Segan at Perkins. Online at swingeasygcbr.com. I'm being candid with y'all here. I have notebook pages that have the depth chart kind of written in sand, as it were, because things change so quickly. And I'm always fearful that I'm missing somebody. I'm always fearful that, well, yeah, that guy entered the portal and I missed it. Or, oh, wait, that guy's actually back and you just hadn't thought about him because he didn't play last year, but he did come back. Or who did they get in the portal? Was that yesterday? He visited? Did he get? It's just a crazy time. And I'm going to be candid with y'all. Like, I'm trying to keep up as best I can to stay informed. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. I don't feel like I'm drowning over here. It's just, this is new. Adding 35 players in a week and a half is new. So I think y'all are probably trying to keep up as best you can. I'm certainly trying to keep up as best as I can, and I continue to kind of look at different positions, and something piqued my interest there in that conversation with Preston, just talking about the secondary. We obviously feel great in Baton Rouge about what the coaching staff provides in the secondary. Corey Raymond is as good as they come over there at the corners, and Jake Olson has really taken strides with the safeties. Now, it helps to go get A.J. Halsey. Like, that helps, but that's part of the gig. It helps to go get Derek Stingley and Christian Fulton and Tre'Davious White and Greedy Williams and all the great players that Corey Raymond got at corner while he was here the first time. And it helps to go get DJ Pickett this time and to develop PJ Woodland. And so I'm looking at the secondary right now, and I kind of see it this way. We'll start at corner, where you start with Pickett and Woodland. And they haven't really taken a big swing at cornerback in the portal. Jakeem Jackson's back. He actually played a little bit late in the season. He was a 4-star recruit, signed at Florida. He's been in college now for 4 years. And 3 years, sorry. This will be his 4th year coming up. And that's a guy that Corey's always liked with his size, but it's not a guy that played a lot in September and October. So maybe he's developing, but that's kind of third up. And then you've got Aiden Anding, who was in last year's class as a freshman, who was the top cornerback in the state of Louisiana that they brought in last year's class. On the high end of this freshman class that's coming in now, you've got Haven Finney from out in the state of California. Now, Haven Finney is a reclassification, so he's very young. He's going to be a very young player on this team. It's not a position that's loaded with depth for LSU. Like, you really feel good about Pickett and Woodland. And then after that, it's like, okay, I think Aiden Anding is a guy that's got some potential. I think Haven Finney is very young, but has got some potential. Jakeem Jackson is now a veteran in college, going into his 4th year. So if you put him out on the field, like, you know where he's going to be. But I don't know that it's quite as high end beyond Pickett and Woodland as you might like at LSU. I keep thinking about some like the best secondaries that they've had. And I think about the 11 secondary that you had out on the corner. You had Mo Claiborne, who was a star, Daryl Simon, who was a star and an NFL draft pick. Then you had Tyron, obviously, that you slid down there. And then you had Ron Brooks right there after him, who played in the NFL for, 6 years? Like, that's the kind of depth that you stacked right behind him. And, I don't know that Aiden Anding's not going to play in the NFL for 6 years. He might, but that's the thing you kind of learn as time goes on. I think about 2019 secondary that had, obviously, Fulton and Stingley on the outside as your kind of top 2 dudes. But, right behind them, you had some real players. I think about I'm thinking about the kid from Houston who was Kerry Vincent, who was a good player for LSU right behind him, but he wasn't one of your top 2 guys, and he was a veteran. And I'm looking at the depth on this LSU secondary spot, and I'm only rattling off 5 guys that I feel like you could rush to the field. I just assumed that there would be the next Mansour Delane, not a Thorpe Award finalist, not a first-team All-American, but that's the top corner in the portal. Corey will get that guy. It's an aggressive assumption, probably one that's too aggressive. I realize that Corey can't just snap his fingers and produce a Thorpe winner like that. Sometimes we feel that way, but it's too aggressive. But I just kind of, when the portal opened, I assumed somebody from Florida State or UCLA or Kansas State or Texas Tech, somebody would pop in the portal and all the national guys go, oh, he was first team all league. That's the best corner in the portal, and that he would show up in Baton Rouge. And that's just, they've hit every other position kind of like that, but not corner as much. I realize they got Pickett and Woodland, and I feel great about that, but they're not quite as deep at corner as you might think. At safety, they are. Safety, they go for a day and a half. Just on guys that return, you've got Spears, you've got Cooley, Jace Thomas, CJ Jim Coyley. You got a lot of dudes that are coming back at safety. And then you go in and add Benefield from Boise, who was insanely productive. I'm not talking about style of play here, but I am talking about just sheer productivity. Benefield's stat line, not body type, not playing style exactly, but you just look at the stat sheet. Benefield kind of reminds me of Halsey in that way. Now, I think Halsey is probably a little bit more draftable at this point, and the stat sheet was a little bit better, but Benefield just makes a ton of tackles. He does play the ball and make some interceptions. that's the kind of guy that I think you're adding at that spot. And then you're continuing to dip in and you go get Delane, who was a top 75 recruit, a 4-star who went to Ohio State. And you know the pedigree, you know the bloodline, and I'm not asking him to come in and be exactly like Mansour day one, but all of a sudden I start to look at safety and I have that lack of depth at corner, and I'm going, okay, well, I've got Cooley, who you know what his role can be, and Spears can play at the deep. He played the dime this year, and, like, he was great. I tweeted this, like, 4 times during the season, not even the Florida game. Like, I think Deshaun Spears is pretty good. They just didn't have a place to put him except the dime. You're not going to take Halsey off the field. Like, would I have been stunned if they took Cooley off the field and played Spears? Probably not, but I heard the morning show guys talk about Cooley all year and how hard he played and how hard-nosed he was and how he was tackling guys and giving all this effort, and that's what you want. Especially you think about this portal era and you're thinking maybe some guys don't want to give their all because they're just here for the check and now it's almost draft time and I don't want to get hurt and my checks are clear, and that just wasn't the case for Cooley. So, like, those two guys for sure. And, like, Delane and Benefield, I feel like are probably ready to start now. I know for a fact the staff loves C.J. Jim-Coley. Now, you could play him down at star. We saw him working at star. You could play Spears at star. You could play Benefield at star. You could play a lot of different guys at star. I don't know that any of them have the same skill set Harold Perkins did, but I think that you could point to them and suggest they've got a little bit more juice than Jordan Gilbert, who played the star. So that's where the secondary options kind of kick into gear. You basically, if you're Corey Raymond and Jake Olson and Blake Baker, you go, okay, Pickett over here, Woodland over here. Now, let's see what the menu looks like and where we want to plug some guys. Spears, versatility. Cooley, versatility. Benefield, versatility. I haven't seen enough of Delane. Like, Benefield played a lot at Boise. You can turn the tape on and watch Benefield and see what he does. Delane did not. You just go off his measurables and his recruiting tape. So that's a little different, but it feels like those guys. And I heard Frank Wilson, who obviously is not here anymore, but he's on the coaching staff. He's at practice every day. Just absolutely laud Jace Thomas as a guy that they really think is a good player. I know they like Jim Coyle. Like, you've got options there, and I think a lot of it comes from the safety spot. And you think about what the safeties are here to do, to come downhill and play the run, to help in coverage, not necessarily take on the number one guy. Well, you've got guys that can do that. Pickett and Woodland are guys that are going to fill that void. So while I started the segment kind of lamenting, well, it's just not quite what you would have at corner beyond your top two, you point to the safety column and you go, oh, so there's the versatility that they're looking for. It's depth they've created. They've gotten the top-end guys, but a lot of what they've added is just a lot of options. And that's what happens when you bring in 35 guys. It's going to bump up next to 40 portal ads by the time this is done. And you just create depth. It's a tired cliche that I toss out there, and I hate cliches, but, like, in this instance, I think it does ring true. If you get enough scratch-off tickets, you will hit those $25 and $50 wins. And you don't build a championship team with 22 first-round picks. That'd be nice. 2001 Miami tried. 2019 LSU tried. But you do it with just a lot of really good players, and then your stars emerge. And I feel like there's a real chance that LSU is kind of putting that together. It's not a finished product, but I really like what I'm seeing in the secondary. That should come as no surprise to anybody here, but I certainly do. So that's a look at the secondary as this depth chart changes rapidly. And another thing that I'll be candid about, when I do these 12-minute segments where I'm just looking at my notes and talking into the microphone and not paying attention to Twitter, I fear I've missed 2 commitments. I feel like as I take my eye off the ball for 12 minutes to talk to you about the secondary, well, who committed now? So I'll jump back in during the commercial break and see if something happened. If not, we'll close out the hour a little bit differently. Our Friday shows brought to you by Corks. Back to close out the hour next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Love our friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. If you're looking for an SUV, I would highly suggest you check out the folks at Fabry Chevrolet GMC, because they've got Chevy Suburbans. They've got Chevy Tahoes. Those are hot. It's a new year. Looking for a new ride? Grab one. GMC, they got Denali's right there in St. Francisville on Highway 61. They've got all that you're looking for from an SUV perspective. You're looking for a truck? How about the Chevy Silverado? Huge inventory at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. You can make the short drive up to St. Francisville. I drove right by there on the way up to Shreveport a couple weeks ago. Not far at all. If you're in Baker, up in the Felicianas, or in Point Capee, zip over there to Fabry Chevrolet GMC. But if you'd like to do some shopping at home first, well, they got you covered, FabryChevrolet.com. You know the Fabry family, been here for 35 years. You get great customer service, fantastic service after the sale as well. It's Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Go see that inventory at FabryChevrolet.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Love our friends over at Corks Cajun fried fish and shrimp, delicious jumbo Gulf shrimp, crispy shoestring fries, clean crispy fried catfish as well. They got your honey butter rolls, beignet bites, crawfish etouffee. It's all great over there at Corks. Go by and see them on Government Street for lunch today. If you want to feed a big crew, they can do that as well. Love to do catering over there at Corks. And sometimes I see something in my world on the internet that I don't think gets to most of you on the internet. Everybody's kind of got their corner of the internet that they live in. And this is not a Chicago Cubs segment. This is an LSU segment. Just something to be really proud of with one of your own here from Baton Rouge. Technically from Albuquerque, but Baton Rouge as well with Alex Bregman. Y'all know that Alex Bregman signed with the Cubs earlier this week, and you've heard stories about him in his major league career and some of the things that he's done for his teammates. And I just found this soundbite from Cubs President of Baseball Operations Jed Hoyer at the Alex Bregman press conference yesterday to just be so enlightening and just a reflection of the kind of teammate and pro that Alex Bregman has become as a veteran. You know that he picked the number 3 in Chicago because he wants a 3rd World Series championship. That's what he's motivated by. And he hit the ground running once he signed that contract, a monster deal, 5 years, $175 million. But listen to the way the Cubs president of baseball operations talks about Alex Bregman and the way that he conducted himself immediately after signing this monster deal, which will he's already set up for life, but will be the last monster deal that he signs. Not about the money. He's ready to get the ground and start winning.
You know, Alex is going to be humble on this, but we didn't ask him to do this. And I think within 2 days of signing, he had asked for reports on every player and, you know, and what they're working on to make sure that he was talking about the right things with those players. He asked for a meeting with all of the minor league staff that's in Arizona to talk through our hitting philosophy, to make sure he was talking about the right things. He had already called almost all of our players to talk to him. So these are the things that he's already talked about. And actually another thing, he came to my office yesterday and he said, "Hey, I hope you're okay. I committed to the WBC, you know, to play in May. I hope you're okay with that." And I was like, "You know, sure, of course." And he's like, "Don't worry, I'll come in the morning before we have workouts and make sure I'm with the guys." And so it isn't just it's in 4 or 5 days he's been a Cub. Like there's already been like, you know, countless examples of things he's working on that no one's asked him to do, but like that's how he thinks about his role. It's not just about getting I it's about making sure he's integrated with the entire team.
I just thought it was a cool anecdote that he's called the whole team. He's talked to the minor league coaches to know what the hitting philosophy is in the organization so that he can fit in the lineup the way that he wants to. He's talked about coming in early before the WBC. And one of the things that always struck me with Alex is when he got drafted by the Astros and he was in the minor leagues, some of the key Astros primary language was Spanish. You had Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa has kind of done both, but those are the 2 biggest names. But there were more on that team that spoke primarily Spanish. Alex took it upon himself to learn Spanish. Now, I have no idea what his Spanish background was. You live in New Mexico. That's pretty geographically close to Mexico, so perhaps that was already he had a good foundation, just had to maybe brush up a little bit, or maybe he had to learn it from scratch. But he took it on, not like, "Hey, guys, how's y'all's English? Like, can y'all pick it up?" Like, he went and started learning their language. And to hear that he's doing the things like that in Chicago, I just think as an LSU fan, to see what a representative of LSU that he is in Major League Baseball is pretty cool. And I understand the first thing that a lot of y'all are going to say. It's like, trash cans, trash cans, trash cans, trash cans. Man, that's a bad look for that Astros organization. And Alex was on that team. And so I'm not going to dismiss that or just wipe it under the rug. And I don't know how active he was in that or not active in that, or if he approved or if he didn't approve at all. Like, I have no idea. But I know that some of the things that he does as a teammate and the way that he conducts himself in the professional ranks is really awesome. And there are a lot of stories in sports that are controversial and negative and have negative feelings toward them and all those kinds of things. And I get that. So whenever there's something that's positive, especially when it's got a local angle to it like Alex Bregman does here at LSU, where he's a great ambassador for the school, like, that's a cool thing to highlight. And I heard that Jed Hoyer soundbite yesterday and I went, that's a guy who he wants to win. He does things the right way. And that's a great thing for LSU. So I wanted to close the hour out. It's been 45 minutes straight. Portal. And we're not done talking about the transfer portal. We're going to get into it in the second hour. Got some Saints to talk about as well as New Orleans has some cool news coming out of Mobile. I got a text message of one of Marlar's graphics that he does when we get a transfer portal commit. And I saw it and went, okay, who do I have to research and talk about on the fly now? And he made a graphic with Tom Brady on it. LSU did not get Tom Brady out of the transfer portal. They did not. Tom's got some other things going on. He's doing some television, and I think he owns part of the Raiders. So not coming to LSU to play college football, but that did scare me because I told you in the last segment, I was like, well, let's go see who they got now. And they haven't gotten anybody, to my knowledge. Now, they could have in the last 5 minutes because I've been off Twitter. But we will get into some portal stuff in the second hour. We'll also talk a little Saints. If you want portal talk, you can go catch us on demand. Hunt on LSU. Just type in Hunt on LSU wherever you find your podcast or on YouTube. Do that. You'll find all of our talk on Transfer Portal. We talked about the new additions, 5 of them since I left you at 3 o'clock yesterday. 3 on the offensive line. I think it's a huge deal. I talked about that. So you can catch that on demand. You can catch our whole show at the Hunt Palmer Show on YouTube or wherever you find your sound. We'll take a time out for national headlines. Come back and talk a little Saints. Big news from the Senior Bowl. And we'll do some more Portal talk.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
That was early. Marucci. What a gem in Baton Rouge Marucci is. It truly was a labor of love 22 years ago, and now it's the official bat of Major League Baseball. I mean, seriously. Backyard Shed, 2004, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Let's make a bat. Made a bat. Made some more bats. All of a sudden, some of the pros were like, let me swing that bat. Started hitting with that bat. All of a sudden, official bat of Major League Baseball. And you can go see where these bats are made here in Baton Rouge. They make 1,200 of them a day. You can also grab one of those bats, take some BP. They got cages. Baseball season's coming up. Softball season's coming up. Take your team. Take your kids. Take your class to Marucci. Tour the facility. See where those bats are made. Take some hats. It's where the big league stars are born, right here at Marucci in Baton Rouge. Check them out online, maruccisports.com. That's maruccisports.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
This menu is a masterpiece. Delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm John Ryder. The Mets have agreed on a 3-year, $126 million deal with infielder Bo Bichette. The deal does include opt-outs after the first and second seasons, but doesn't include any deferred money. It makes it a straight contract with an average annual value of $42 million per season. The Rays have traded outfielder Josh Lowe to the Angels for infielder Gavin Lux as part of a 3-team trade with the Reds. The NFL Divisional round of the playoffs kick off this weekend, which includes the Patriots taking on the Texans on Sunday at Foxborough. New England head coach Mike Vrabel on his team's personality.
I mean, we try to embrace what we do, where we do it, and who we do it with, and we try to enjoy all those things as well. I want them to enjoy coming to work. I want them to embrace the hard work and all the effort that goes into it. Then I want them to enjoy playing together, playing with a style, and having their own personalities.
And the Patriots versus the Texans is on ESPN and ABC at 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. NBA Sacramento expected to get forward Domantas Sabonis back after missing 27 games with a knee injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, I'll recap the divisional round of the playoffs in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
All right, hour 2, last hour of the week here on the Hunt Palmer Show. We're brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Eventually, I might talk about some of the NFL games this weekend. I might not. We'll see. There's a lot of portal talk to be had. I want to spend some time on that, certainly when we come back. LSU does play a basketball game tomorrow. Might not get to that either. It's portal season, and I guess that's going to be a new part of our calendar. I don't know that we're going to get 35 a year here. I guess theoretically you could, but I think the hope is in this class that you've got some guys that might stick around a few years, because you've got a lot of guys who have played 1 and 2 years of college football that have jumped in the portal and come to LSU, and maybe they stick around for a couple of years. We'll just have to see. But we'll get to that a little bit later. I want to talk some Saints because we got some news today that Joel Thomas, who is on the Saints staff, running back coach, associate head coach, is going to be one of the head coaches for the Senior Bowl. He's going to be the coach of the American team. And the NFL is built for parity. Built for parity. You win, you get a harder schedule and a worse draft pick. You lose, you get an easier schedule, easier draft pick. Your owner's rich, he can spend X amount. Your owner's not as rich, he can only spend that same amount. They make it as equitable as possible, and that's the reason why you've seen everybody in the NFC make the conference title game in the time since the Cowboys made it, and they had a dynasty that wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it was 30 years ago, but in the grand scheme of things, when's the last time the Pittsburgh Pirates were any good? When's the last time the Cincinnati Reds were relevant? Don't see a lot of action more often than not than from the Mariners. Good this year, but you get the point. Pelicans are never any good. So it's there's just an incredible amount of parity in the NFL. And this is not a big advantage. Trust me, I'm not trying to oversell this. But one of the things that the Saints have to their advantage, you can put whatever increment you want on it, but it is an advantage. The Saints are far and away the closest team to Mobile of anybody in the National Football League. You can get to Mobile real quick from the Central Business District, okay? You can get there real quick from out in Metairie at the facility. And the Saints have leaned on that for the Senior Bowl. The Saints have traditionally sent as big or bigger contingent to Mobile than anybody because it's just easier logistically. Trust me, every single NFL team has got a big old jet or two, and they can get anybody they want to Mobile. I know that. I know. But the Saints can just drive on over there with whoever they want and spend as much time there as they want or as little time there as they want. And let's be frank, the Senior Bowl is an important scouting tool. We send a crew, 104.5 ESPN, to the Senior Bowl every year. And I think that T-Bob and Jake have done an awesome job over the years of talking about guys that they've seen at the Senior Bowl, and this year Jake and Flynn will be there as well, and I'm really looking forward to their content from there because there are really, really good players that play there every year, and the Saints can get an up-close and personal look at it. And then you put on top of that one of your staff members is now the head coach of one of those sides. That's an awesome thing for the Saints. Because what do we know about the New Orleans Saints? This draft is vital. I will take every single possible advantage when looking at this draft. Because I feel like, and I think it's reasonable to say, you hit on the last draft class. We'll find out just how good that hit was in the next 3 years, but you've hit. It's not a flop. It's not a bust. It's not one of the, and look, the Saints have done it. It's not one of those complete busts. I think your first-round pick's a good player. I'm hopeful the second-round pick is franchise-altering, and I think in rounds 3 through 7, you've probably found 2 or 3 or 4 more starters in that group. That's great. You have to follow it up. And the Senior Bowl gives you that opportunity. And what do we know about the draft that the Saints just had? Well, I didn't know this for sure offhand, and I certainly could have looked it up, but I was writing 160 portal pieces for LouisianaSports.net. So I texted my guy, Ross Jackson. We know Ross, Locked On Saints, LouisianaSports.net Saints beat writer. I said, Ross, Saints leaned on the Senior Bowl pretty hard last year, right? He said, yeah. 5 guys they drafted played in the Senior Bowl. Stutzman declined an invite, and Broughton was hurt. So you look at the Saints draft class last year, they were heavy on Mobile. This is your last chance to get eyes on football. And it's real football. Talk to Flynn. Talk to Hester about it. Talk about those practices. They go every year. Hester played in them. It's real deal stuff. The Combine, Underwear Olympics, whatever. This is football. And if you can find somebody in Mobile that you might unearth in the 4th round that can start, it just changes things. Because I do believe the Saints are going to be in a position in the next 2 off seasons to spend some cash in free agency. But what do we talk about all the time? You just want to be sure you're hitting on draft picks because they're cheap and they're 23, 24 years old. Those are the guys you need to revamp your roster. And if you can find an edge rusher in the 4th round, my goodness. If you can find a right guard in the 3rd round, awesome. If you can find somebody in the 6th round that becomes a weapon for you in the passing game, it's just the best way to do business. And again, I'm not suggesting that because you've got Joel Thomas coaching one team that nobody in your division or the NFC as a conference is going to be able to get the insight that you can. That's not the point. The point is, it's just a nice little nod. In a league that absolutely prioritizes and emphasizes and carries out a commitment to parity, when you're the Saints and your roster last year is one of the worst in the sport and your salary cap position is still not awesome and you're still looking to plug a lot of holes in your roster, being able to have a coach of one of the teams and to be able annually to send as big a contingent as anybody in the league to the place that's closest to you is a big deal. And I think this time of year, we could sit here and discuss everyone that's going to be a free agent day over day over day. It's probably not the greatest radio you've ever heard. But this is news that comes out today, and I just feel like, hey, what if this is worth a starter? What if Joel Thomas, in his time there, finds something that you find in the 5th round? Like, there are only 22 starting positions, right? What if you fill one of them because you got a better look at him than everybody else? That sounds like a small deal, but if you extrapolate it over 4 years, it is a big deal. So it's no guarantee. I just like it. I like anything that's positive. I think about our conversations this time last year. Didn't have a coach. Didn't have a quarterback. Coming off a bad year. Toxic locker room. People on Twitter chirping about Dennis Allen. Feeling like you're not going to get Ben Johnson. You're not going to get Aaron Glenn. Where are you going to land with this coaching search? And then I think about where we were in October. Loss. And then Shuck comes in. And then Kellen Moore gets his feet on the ground. And then Brandon Staley turns that defense that struggled early in the season and gets it playing at a top 10 level in the league. And then you get news that, hey, you got a slight leg up in the Senior Bowl. I'm not going to dismiss anything positive. After the 2 years of garbage we went through covering this team, that you went through pulling for this team, I'm not going to dismiss news like this. I think it's a great thing that the Saints have this. And hopefully it's worth a couple of players when that time comes to make some draft picks. But the Saints will have Joel Thomas, running back coach, and associate head coach as a head coach in the Senior Bowl. The other team, the national team, will be led by Clint Hurd of the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't seem to need a ton of help in terms of their personnel department. They do a pretty good job. As far as team chemistry, they could use some work on that. But the Saints are working in that direction too. We'll send Jake and Flynn over to the Senior Bowl here in a week or so, and very much looking forward to their content from Mobile. Hopefully, Black and Gold can capitalize on the fact that they've got a coach on the Senior Bowl staff. All right, let's go back to the portal. Couple of names I'm looking at that LSU could potentially add that I think could be difference makers for this squad. That's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. If you want a full-scale renovation, they can do it. Our guy Brian Haldane, morning show on Talk 107.3, Mornings with Brian Haldane. He said, hey, who's your guy for bathrooms and closets? Said David Duvall, One Bath and Closets. Said, all right. So he called him. That process wrapped up last week. And if you check out Brian's Facebook page, you can see the pictures of their finished work. It is stunning. Brian will vouch for it. He's seen it in person. I haven't. Hadn't been in Brian's bathroom. But I see the pictures. They look awesome. And that's courtesy of the folks at One Bath and Closets. They can do your full renovations. They can handle a tub-to-shower conversion, including a shower converting into a closet, relay the tile, move a shower, install a shower. They can do your vanity with all the woodwork as well. All that can be done with the folks at One Bath and Closets, soup to nuts. You don't have to call 4 different contractors to handle this deal. If you're looking to completely transform your bathroom, David Duvall and One Bath and Closets is here to do that for you. They've got financing available, 0% up to 18 months. Check out their work at onebathandclosets.com and get that free consultation. Onebathandclosets.com.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best.
We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Y'all should see me during these breaks. I'm furiously checking our portal tracker, comparing it to the LSU roster, looking at the visit list, and then recompiling what that position might look like. Like that's how quickly things tend to move in this case. Tomorrow on LouisianaSports.net, I will have a portal profile series I'm running on every single portal commitment LSU gets on South Carolina edge Jaylen Brown. And that's the position group I want to talk about right now because it is one that I expressed a little bit of concern about, not in terms of numbers. LSU's in great shape in terms of numbers. In terms of impact guys, in terms of potential All-Americans, potential All-SEC players, potential game changers on the edge. I misfired on LSU's portal class this past year and what their impact was going to be at defensive end. I thought, based on what Kevin Peoples did with Braden Swinson and Savion Jones, who were completely different players in their final college season. I mean, Swinson didn't really do anything at Oregon. He came to LSU his first year, not much. Savion Jones was supposed to be next in the line. It was like Caleb Chason, B.J. Ojulari, Savion Jones. That was supposed to be the lineage. And I think Chason was right after Key. So it was Key, Chason, Ojulari, boom, Savion Jones is next. Long, rangy, edge rusher, game wrecker. And he just wasn't for 3 years. And then he played great his last year and he became a third-round pick. So I thought, okay, you got Kevin Peoples, and he's going to come in, and he's got Jack Pyburn, who's a stout run stopper, 270 pounds, 265 pounds. He'll help him. And then you heard Pyburn talking. He's like, I've worked on my pass rush game. I'm a different player. You bring in Patrick Payton, who set the world on fire for 2 years in Tallahassee. Not as good as third year, but was awesome. And his stats, as I said many times, mirrored Barkevious Mingo's at LSU when he was at Florida State. Plus, you bring in Jamari Butler. Plus, you've got Gabe Relaford, who we think a lot of. And, you're going to have, tremendous pass rush. And it just didn't happen. LSU was 12th in the SEC in sacks this year and 66th nationally. They did not have a single sack against Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, or Houston. Not one. It's 4 different games, and you lost all 4 of them. I just think you've got to affect the passer. You've got to get after people. A&M was great at it this year, and they started 11-0. Ole Miss was great at it 2 years ago, and they had a really good defense. And LSU just never got that type of play. And I'm looking at what LSU brings back, and Relaford got hurt the elbow, the arm, and he'll hopefully come back full strength, and you think he's got a lot of talent. And you bring back Damian Shanklin, who was thought of as a very highly touted recruit who's tall and long, had a couple sacks in a rental win. Dylan Carpenter's still around. He's been here 3 years, didn't do a ton in the bowl game when he got an opportunity, but he's here and he's big. You got Kalaj Cobbins, who, we go out to fall camp, you watch the one-on-one drills, and it's like, yo, that guy can bend the edge. Now, he hadn't played, but you bring back those guys, But you need to add to that. Okay, you gotta add to that. And so they go in the portal, and I'm looking at this, and I look at Jaylen Brown, who I wrote about for tomorrow. And that's a guy who LSU wanted out of high school. He ended up in Missouri, played as a freshman at Missouri, 6'6", 255 pounds, 39 snaps at Missouri. And then he transfers out to South Carolina and hurt his knee in spring football and missed the whole season. So, like, yeah, 4-star. Yeah, 6'6", 255, but proven? No. So I'm not going to fall into the trap of last year thinking, well, as long as Peoples gets them and they're big and physical, like he'll do the Swinson, Savion Jones thing and they'll be fine. Ability, yeah. Proven? No. You go get Jordan Ross. I'm not dismissing the addition of Jordan Ross. I am telling you that he was a 5-star, but did not do a lot his first year at Tennessee. Now, freshmen on the defensive front oftentimes don't do a lot. Got a lot to learn. In high school, you're bigger, faster, meaner than the guy across from you. You wreck shop. The SEC, all of a sudden, that tackle goes from the 6'4", 310-pound dude you were going against that doesn't even play college football in high school to, he's 3 years older, he's 6'7", he's 315, and he plays for the Ravens in 2 years. It's just a different world, right? So Jordan Ross may be a superstar. They certainly thought in Knoxville he was going to start for them next year, but not a proven superstar. You go get Achilles Woods, who played at South Alabama. I think it's a depth piece. Could he be great? Maybe. But you get the point. I can't point to any of these guys on the edge. Relaford, Shanklin, Carpenter, Cobbins, Ross, Woods, Brown. This whole group, numbers are good. I can't tell you who the best pass rusher LSU has on the roster is. I could guess. I would guess Jordan Ross. But I can't tell you for sure. And before you completely cut me off and go, they signed Lamar Brown. I don't know if I'm going to immediately toss a 5-star into that discussion as a freshman just because he had 5 stars next to him. I'm thrilled they got Lamar Brown. But, like, where's the proven game changer? And then I look to the portal. And then I see Prince Willoughby jumping in the portal. And now I know where that game changer, a proven game changer, might come from. It might come from Oxford. Prince Willoughby had 9 sacks this year in the Southeastern Conference. I was listening to an Ole Miss podcast this morning. The phraseology talking about him going to the portal and potentially leaving is like there have been some guys that have left, and you're like, oh, well, I'd like to have that guy. This is a guy who affects winning and losing, is what they said about this guy. All of a sudden now, if you change that conversation to, this is where the conversation is right this second. Okay, that's 7 guys who have some ability at defensive end. Nothing's really proven, but 7 guys, that's decent numbers, and I haven't counted Lamar Brown. Let's throw Lamar Brown in there, Trenton Henderson, call it 8 or 9 guys. Nobody's proven they got some talent, we'll see. You change that discussion if you go, okay, now you have Prince Willoughby, and now I need one of these 8 or 9 guys to be good. 1. That changes the equation. I got a proven potential double-digit sack guy on one side, and now I just need somebody to fill the other side, and I've got 8 options. I like that discussion better. I think that discussion's different, and I think it's very, very possible. I don't know exactly what's going on in Oxford, Mississippi right now. I'm listening to a lot of Ole Miss podcasts, not entirely to point and laugh. That's really not the point. The point is more so to hear what the vibe is over there, because there are clearly folks over there on that beat that talk to coaches, that talk to administrators, and they will often say, like, yeah, that guy's going to LSU, and then that guy will end up at LSU. So I find that information to be valuable to me as I consider what's possible for LSU in the portal. And when I see Prince Willoughby go in the portal, I'm like, well, that's a real chance to come to LSU because they think that. And so whether or not Ole Miss is paying the new guys more than the old guys, whether or not there are contracts floating around with numbers, whether or not there's rampant tampering, I don't know what's going on in Oxford. All I care about is what's going on in Baton Rouge. And you have a roster in Baton Rouge now that looks strong. You get me a proven edge rusher, you get me a proven tackle, we'll change the discussion a little bit. I'm gradually moving. Y'all heard me. A lot of you haven't been listening for 90 minutes. That's okay. I'll kind of reset things. Y'all heard me, if you've been here for 90 minutes, talk about how I've progressed in this portal cycle, which is natural. From, okay, you got a lot of work to do, to, okay, this is encouraging. Okay, that's a lot of depth. Wait, where's the ads on offensive line? Where's the ads on the proven side of the defensive line? Where are my pass rushers? I think you've addressed the offensive lines as a disaster, which it was 2 weeks ago, to now solid, but a question mark for sure. I like what you did when you added Jordan Ross to the pass rush group. And maybe he's a first-team All-League player with 11 sacks this year. But he hadn't proven that. Prince William Onmielen lined it up in the Southeastern Conference on a playoff team that went to the Final Four, that played Georgia twice, that played LSU, that played Oklahoma. And he had 9 sacks. That guy's in the portal. Get that guy. And I feel like, as I sit here at 2:30-ish on Friday, LSU's got a real chance to get that guy. That's the buzz that I'm gathering over the last 4 hours. You do that, I'll come in here on Monday, and I'll sing a different tune. I don't want to get burned like I did last year. I misled you last year unintentionally. I just kind of thought Kevin Peoples would snap his fingers. And there are probably some guys he will moving forward. It's not like it was a one-hit wonder with Jones and Swinson. He'll continue to do that. It just didn't quite happen last year. So last year I was working off the assumption that Peoples was so good that he took 2 guys who hadn't been great players and made them great players. He'll do it with these guys, and they just didn't produce at that level. And that may happen again this year. It may not. But there are some guys you don't have to just completely transform to get to that level. Onmielen's one of them. So I'm all for that if LSU can make it happen. I don't know where the rest of this money's coming from. I don't know how you pay 35. You're at 35 now. You get some of the guys we're talking about, you're bumping up against 40. But I don't care where the money comes from because it's not mine. So get the players, win the games, keep the money flowing. It's a continuous cycle. You're seeing it going on over there in Alec Box. I like the defensive line group. I'll love it if you can add a proven pass rusher. Prince William Onmielen, that's the dude I want. We'll see. Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Check out that menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. We will come back. I got a few topics that we haven't hit over the course of 90 minutes. We got into the show is going to be take it or leave it. So we got a couple minutes to hit a couple different topics. I'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
How about Ochsner's Eat Fit Alcohol-Free 440 Challenge? That registration is open if you're looking for a fresh start this spring. Ochsner's Eat Fit Alcohol-Free for 40, it's back. It's a 40-day reset to help you sleep better, boost energy, feel your best. They are not telling you, hey, quit this forever. They're just saying, hey, let's see how your body responds if you take a break. How does your body respond if you recharge? So when you sign up, you get access to pre- and post-challenge metrics like body composition, blood pressure, optional labs. You can actually see what the transformation looks like when you go for alcohol-free for 40 days. People report clearer skin, better focus, brighter mood, better sleep, and that often happens within the first couple of weeks. So if you need some nutrition tips, some zero-proof drink ideas, they got you covered over there at Ochsner. As I mentioned, registration is open. Whether you do it officially or just take on that challenge from home, it's your chance to hit reset and feel that difference. So sign up for more at alcoholfreefor40.com. That's the number 40, alcoholfreefor40.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, Refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday shows are brought to you by Corks, but I also want to tell you about the Highland Insurance Group as well. Jonathan Carvo and his team, phenomenal folks over there at the Highland Insurance Group. They do a great job with captives. I've had some conversations with Jonathan and his team about captives. That was something that I was getting into right at the end of my insurance career. And then they said, hey, would you like to come talk about LSU football, basketball, and baseball on the radio every day from 1 to 3? And I said, yes, I would like to do that instead of deal with captives. So you can't deal with me in captives. You can deal with Jonathan Carbo and the Highland Insurance Group with captives. And they're on the forefront of this deal. I think captives are kind of the future of insurance. In many ways, they're the present. If you're a sizable organization, you pay a significant amount in premium, you've got great mismanagement, great loss control, and you're just drowning at renewal time with your insurance premiums. Contact the Highland Insurance Group and say, hey, what's the deal with the captives? Can we look at that? They can help you. There's a chance your broker doesn't have access to a captive, doesn't understand captives. It's not something that every broker gets in the business of. But the Highland Insurance Group can. So again, if you're a business, sizable premium, great loss history, good risk management, you might be a fit, and it can change your bottom line. So get involved with the Highland Insurance Group. They're right here in Baton Rouge. They can help you out statewide in the state of Louisiana. Get you into a captive for the new year. It's the Highland Insurance Group. They're online at highlandig.com. Okay. Jordan, true or false, this is the best week of football on the NFL calendar every single year, the divisional round?
I would have to say it's probably true.
I think it's best. I mean, the conference championship weekend, awesome, but it's 2 games. And the Super Bowl is awesome, but it's 4 hours. This is a weekend, and it's the best of the best. I think we've probably got the best teams in the NFL left. Jacksonville can make a play for that, I think.
Man, I can't believe that they're even here still. That's crazy to me.
I mean, Jacksonville's gone. Yeah. So, like, Green Bay was playing bad at the end of the year. I don't have a team that I think is better than the teams that we've got left. We've got 8 teams left, and I think we got the 8 best teams in football left. And so we'll see them do battle. It starts Saturday at 3:30 with the Bills and the Broncos. I think that this is – it's hard to say this, but I think you have to. Josh Allen has more on his shoulders than anyone in the playoffs this year.
Not even close.
I can't go with Sean Payton or Bo Nix. I can't go with C.J. Stroud or DeMeco Ryans. I can't go with Drake May or Mike Vrabel. Certainly not Ben Johnson or Caleb Williams. Maybe Stafford, second Super Bowl.
Yeah,
maybe.
Just because the time's ticking on him.
So with Stafford, you leave the Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer category, which he's not in. He's a Hall of Famer. They're not. But in terms of Super Bowls won,
well, you do
he
the Drew
is.
Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Do that. Do those guys.
Yeah, but still, like
guys.
they're in. But you get a second one all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I mean, you're grouped in with Eli there. I guess that's. But it's you all of a sudden you reach a different level. So that's a lot. They've got one of the best teams in the league. So, but I think for Allen to get the first one, but they're on the road every week.
Yeah,
that generally speaking gives you a little bit of a pass. But I just don't think you can give Allen a pass when the other three dudes in that conference that you're terrified of, if you're a Bills fan, are playing golf.
Yeah, no. Once Mahomes was eliminated and the Ravens didn't even make it, there was literally no excuse at this point. Like Josh Allen, if it's now, it's never, if you ask me.
I like the Broncos to win that game.
Whoa, that's where we're going?
I think their defense is going to play awesome. I think the Bills are banged up at wide receiver. I think Josh Allen's banged up, and I think that sack squad is going to be hitting him, and that's just not comfortable. It's going to be cold. He's hurt.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, he's used to it, but it still didn't make it any more comfortable.
Yeah.
So I like the Broncos to win that game. You go to the nightcap on Saturday. That is divisional stuff. It's 49ers and Seahawks, night game on Fox. I was a little surprised at the number on this game. A touchdown.
That's pretty big if you ask me.
I mean, a touchdown is huge. And you're talking about a good San Francisco team. I'm going to sneeze. Bad time for it.
You mute it.
I got the muter. It'll always go away, but I was at the point where I had to stop talking.
No,
I could not talk anymore.
I hate that point.
It's just it's a bad deal on live radio.
Just sitting on the nose.
That's a bad deal. But again, I mean, I know Seattle held San Francisco to 173 total yards and a field goal in their last game.
Yes.
Like, I get it. But do you think that's going to happen again?
No.
I don't either. I just think a touchdown is a lot there. I would have to take the points, even though I would probably take Seattle to win. I could make a pretty clear case Seattle's the best team in football. But I would have to take the points there. Where are we with Brock Purdy?
I'm going to tell you like this, though. You're going to know a lot out of this game because this game's really going to boil down to, do you trust Brock Purdy more or do you trust Sam Darnold more? And I kind of leaning towards trusting Brock Purdy because Sam Darnold, he still has that. It's still a little bad taste in his mouth of like, is he ever going to have that meltdown like he did last year at the end of the year? Or like, Seahawks ain't really seen it a lot this year, but he's had games where he reverts back to Jets Sam Darnold. So
you know what helps Jets Sam Darnold if he shows up?
Yes.
Kenneth Walker. And I love this nugget that I saw on ESPN.com. I was looking through some things. Kenneth Walker in Week 18 had 4 carries of 10 or more yards on that Kubiak zone scheme.
Yeah, man.
It's something we saw the Saints really do well the first 2 weeks of last year. And
2 weeks.
It didn't last. They didn't have any. They had no offensive linemen and no running backs left, and Kamara had broken ribs. So it didn't work anymore after that, but it did work for a second. I like the ground game for the Seahawks. I can't wait to watch that one on Saturday night. I would take the Seahawks to win, 49ers to cover that one.
Come on, let us know.
On Sunday, 2 o'clock, Texans-Patriots.
Toss up, man.
That D is so good for the Texans, but that C.J. Stroud stuff from last weekend is burned in my brain. I don't know what he's doing out there. Looks like he's on the JV squad.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do some of that, I mean, the Patriots are going to score.
Lights out.
I would lay the points in this one. Maybe Stroud comes out and, I mean, he's got the ability. He's got some guys to throw to. The way that the Texans win this game is they go after Will Campbell and Jared Wilson on the left side of that Patriots offensive line. They've got the dudes to do it. And we love Will Campbell. He talked a big game this week.
He always talks.
I don't know if it was a big game. It was a confident game.
Yeah.
It was not derogatory. It was confident.
Yeah.
And he does that. And he had some great quotes last year. I love talking to Will Campbell. But this is a monster matchup with Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, those dudes up front. I would lay the points here because I think C.J. Stroud is just not going to be able to keep up, and I think Drake May's been fantastic. My favorite Drake May stat, I gave it to you in week 18 when we talked about it. Patriots average 8.6 air yards per attempt. That's the third highest mark in the NFL. Mays is winging it down the field, and I love that. I think they'll hit some big plays. I like the Patriots to win this by 7-10 points.
Oh, man, see this game right here, it has all the built-up of, like, are we sure the Patriots are ready to take that leap? Because we already know, we just seen what the Texans defense did to Aaron Rodgers, know as the Steelers and what that offense was, like it's not good. It's an eyesore. But if they come off the ball, and like you said, Will Campbell's been struggling with the Neil Hunter and Will Anderson, and they getting off the ball with that secondary and they're locking down. We talking Stingley, Petrie, all these guys. If they come out there and do that, are we sure that New England's going to be able to answer with these big plays? Because that's one thing the Texans do is eliminate the big play.
They do, and I think the Patriots are going to win.
We're going to see, man. I just don't know. That one, I don't know about this game. Like, that's the one game
on Nico Collins' status as well on the outside there in
out.
that game.
It's concussion.
I saw his concussion, but I didn't know if he was going to play or
he's
not.
Done.
Out?
He's
okay.
Done. He's out.
All right, then Sunday at 5:30, the nightcap, Bears hosting the Rams. Do we know that the Bears are going to be able to fall behind, force turnovers, and make plays the last 10 minutes every week? Because that's what they've been doing since September.
I can't say they're going to do this against Stafford and McVay, man. Unless Matt Stafford comes out here, I just can't see the Rams being in a situation like with Matt LaFleur where they're just giving the game away. I just can't see that. With that run game and McVay being here before in this situation.
I was surprised to learn this. Stafford has not played a game where the temperature was below 20 degrees at kickoff, and he played in the north for all those years with Chicago and Green Bay in his division. It's going to be 0 for this game.
Windy, too. You already know it's going to be windy.
So you got to run the ball, and the Bears run it pretty good. Now, the Rams front is awesome. I'm going to take the Rams to win the game.
Okay.
I think the Bears are a year away, and I just can't trust that you're going to fall behind a team with that veteran a quarterback. They thrive on turnovers. You think Stafford's going to throw it to you twice?
No.
I don't think he is. I think that McVay can coach up with Johnson, who's done a great job. Got Dennis Allen over there, your boy. And I like the Rams. Maybe that's just because I'm going with, like, it's the brand on the helmet deal, but they've just been better for longer, and I know they're on the road. It's going to be an incredible environment in Chicago. I can't wait to watch this one either. But I got the Rams going in there and getting it done. I think the Bears' magic season ends here.
No, I agree with you 100%.
And then all my Chicago people can focus on the Cubs, where they should be focused right now.
Hey, look, the Cubs coming up, but I agree with you 100% because I do think the Bears are a year away. I just think they're too good, too fast. I think we already said that a couple weeks back. Like they're a little too good, too fast. They're above schedule. I think the Rams, look, I'm gonna come out and say it. I think we're looking at a Bills versus Rams Super Bowl. That's where my money is.
I would watch that.
Oh, I think it's gonna be spectacular. That's what I want. But Josh Allen's got to go through. He's got to go through the fire. He's got to go through the fire. But I think the Rams are gonna be able to pull this one off. I just trust McVay and Matt Stafford in this situation. I think the Bears will get there, just not this year.
Of the teams left, the only team I really don't have any interest in watching in the Super Bowl is Houston.
Yeah, no.
Because I don't think Stroud's any good.
No.
But Buffalo, yes. I would watch Denver, even though their offense is a little vanilla for me. But I love watching Shanahan call plays. I think Seattle's really fun to watch too. New England is... I don't know if I want to watch New England either, although it is kind of cool to see him turn over that new leaf if you don't hate him, to see May do it instead of Brady. And then Rams and Bears I would watch both in the Super Bowl for sure. So I think maybe two teams that I wouldn't want to watch. But that's my pick here for the NFL weekend to come. I'll give you a quick thought on LSU basketball. If there's a portal update, we'll give it to you and we'll get out of here on this Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Fabry Chevrolet GMC. You know where they are because I've been telling you for over a month now. They're on Highway 61 in St. Francisville. You're thinking, wait, I didn't think that was a Fabry. Well, it wasn't until October 1st. You know the Fabry family. They've been here 35 years. They've had 5 locations, 3 different brands. They're so proud now to have that point for Chevy and GMC in St. Francisville. You can check out the entire inventory online at FabryChevrolet.com. They got your Chevy Tahoes. They got your Chevy Silverados. They got your Denali on the GMC side. You got great deals, wonderful customer service, which you already know because you've dealt with the Fabry family for better than 3 decades. Short drive to St. Francisville. They're also online there. And they want to remind you, they service all makes there in the service department. So if you're in the Felicianas, if you're in Point Capee, right there in Baker, north of Baton Rouge, or up towards Scotlandville, you can find a service department right there that is thrilled to help you out at Fabry Chevrolet. Check them out online, FabryChevrolet.com, FabryChevrolet.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Shout out to the folks over at Corks. If you got a birthday party coming up, got a retirement party coming up, watching football this weekend, got some folks coming over. No matter what the case may be, if you need catering order, Corks is happy to fill that. They can get you those big trays of the jumbo Gulf shrimp, crispy catfish, the shoestring fries. Get you a little slaw if you're looking for that. The honey butter rolls, they can have it ready for you to feed in bulk. They're happy to do catering orders. Give them a little bit of advance warning, and they'll get it ready for you over there at Corks. There, you can check out the menu online at corksfishandshrimp.com. Bringing our Friday shows. It's Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. All right, briefly on LSU and Missouri tomorrow from the PMAC, mid-afternoon tip-off. I've said it for a week and a half now, and I certainly won't change my tune. LSU has to win the game. It is a must-win game for LSU in the PMAC tomorrow. Must win. I am so reluctant to dump that on games. It's one of the things I actually take a little bit of pride in, is that I don't just throw that term around all over the place. If they do not win on Saturday, this season is lost. That's my opinion. I feel strongly about it. If they win on Saturday, you got a fighting chance. You have to get Thomas back, and you're going to have to do some things that seem very difficult. But like SMU's had a good run of it. You took it to them. You've shown yourself to be capable. You went to A&M and played them right off their feet without Thomas. You had Kentucky beat after 39 minutes and 58 seconds. There is some good in this team, but it's a zero-sum game. You are what your record is, not how you play. You are what your record is, not how you play. They've played better. What are they? 0-4. If you go to 0-5 and you go to 0-6 and you go to 0-7 with 2 games on the road next week, turn out the lights. I hate it. I want so badly to be deeply invested in bracketology talk in mid-February. It's a lot of fun. I love it. We don't do it a lot around here, but I love it. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fake it. You have to win on Saturday. They're going to honor the 86 Final Four team. Hopefully a decent crowd shows out to give those guys the respect that they earned 40 years ago, sorry. But you got to win the game. We'll see if they do it. I will not pick them without De'Don Thomas. I didn't pick him on Wednesday. They almost proved me wrong. Hopefully they do again on Saturday. Let's take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, we're going to start it off with a former Cub. So the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker to a 4-year, $240 million deal. He's now the 8th current Dodger with a $100 million deal.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers causing a lockout in 2027. Take it or leave it.
I had this penciled in for a segment today, and there's just too much portal to get to it for a local talk show. I do not begrudge the Dodgers ownership one iota for this. Not any.
Okay.
None.
Take it.
They are playing by the rules. They can go ahead and do that. Is it going to be a massive problem at the collective bargaining agreements? It is.
Oh, yeah.
And it is going to cause a work stoppage because they cannot sit there in Kansas City and Tampa and Oakland/Vegas and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and look at that and Cleveland and Milwaukee and go, what are we supposed to do here? They spent $2 billion on their not on their payroll, on their committed contracts. Their payroll is going to be $340 million. The Marlins are spending $70. It's just not. How are they supposed to handle that? Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani. Now they got Kyle Tucker. Oh, by the way, Blake Snell, Yamamoto. It's just ridiculous. And I don't begrudge the Dodgers at all. I don't hate them. Like, I'm not even – honestly, I think the Cubs can play with them in a series. I think I would pick the Dodgers to win it. The Cubs have put themselves in a talent position where they can play with everybody in the sport. So I'm not, like, petrified of the Dodgers. I think they're a juggernaut. But I think the Cubs have finally done a good job of putting a roster together. So it's not even rooted in that. It's just this is going to be a massive problem. When you've got teams 6, 7, 8Xing teams in expenditure, it's just not a level playing field. I understand why they're concerned. Now, you're not going to get a salary cap passed. The players union will sit on the bench at April, May, June, July. They'll just sit there. And the ownership will collect no money, and the players will sit there. But they're not going to sign up for a salary cap. I don't know how they do it. But if you ask me what the solution is, it's a salary cap, but they won't be able to get it. So you're just going to have to figure out a way to create a floor, and it's brutal. It's a bad spot for baseball.
Oh, man. 8 players with a $100 million deal. I think I've never seen that before. So quick,
and if, Ohtani is taking $2 million a year and deferring the whole thing. It's just like,
when is that coming to play? Like 2030
when he's
or something
done,
like that?
he makes $50 million a year when he's not even playing.
What a life, man. What a life. So real quick, it's being rumored that Kevin Stefanski's going to take the Falcons job with Harbaugh going to the Giants. So is the 2-time coach of the year going to turn the Falcons around? Take it or leave it?
Leave it.
Leave it alone.
This is Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right?
There you go.
We're right down the road from New Orleans, right?
You didn't bite the cheese. You didn't bite the cheese.
He's a good coach. I think it's an upgrade as a coach.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
They'll put a good defense on the field for sure. But I can't say the Falcons are going to turn around. This is a black and gold division for years to come. It's Shuck season, baby.
End of the day, they're still the Falcons. So that's it for take it or leave it.
All right, you can keep up with the transfer portal as we will make every effort to at louisianasports.net. If you're looking for some thought on the last 24 hours in the portal, you can find it at my page, Hunt on LSU, Hunt on LSU. Saints content, we had a little bit up today at Hunt on Saints as well. Matt's going to drive you home on After Review coming up next. Hope everybody has a safe and wonderful weekend. We're back Monday recapping the NFL weekend, portal, and, of course, LSU and Missouri as well. We'll see you then for another edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders,